Everything we possess that is not necessary for life or happiness first becomes a clutter and eventually turns into a burden, be it our physical space or our mental space. Scarcely a day passes that we do not add to our clutter, because we often forget that happiness is a space between too little and too much. And to find that space, we need to declutter. Decluttering doesn't just have a therapeutic effect, but decluttering your physical space eventually declutters your spirit and mind. I met my friends Vaastu Consultant Dr. Padmaja and energy healer Terry Allen over a coffee chat to understand the significance and positive effects of decluttering. So Padma, I'll start with you.
Yes.
Decluttering is such a big thing. We are in a festive season,
Yes.
and I always begin with decluttering my house, my mind, and everything around me and inside me. And I see such amazing changes. You are into Vaastu, and I am sure you have your take on it.
Absolutely. Decluttering is one of the most important aspects when we talk about Vaastu. The moment you declutter your space, half the battle is won. And everybody wants a decluttered space, but there is something that is not allowing them to do it a lot of times. So decluttering definitely is one of the most important things, and with the festive season around, I think that's the first thing that people start with. The whole idea of the festivals is to actually go about decluttering. At least make an effort once or twice in a year to do the whole thing.
That's how you begin your celebrations.
Absolutely. The whole thing is clear your mind, clear your body, clear your soul, clear your space. Because that's the point when you can start on a positive note, on a happy note, to enjoy and be in the moment of celebrating a festival.
And open up to new things.
Absolutely, absolutely. And decluttering is not just about your space. It could be anything and everything around you, your mind, something as simple as your phone. There is so much.
Yeah, so many apps.
Absolutely. And you're taking up the memory of your phone, so it's similar to your mind.
Absolutely.
You're taking up your own memory, you're taking up your own space. And one thing we all have to remember, the space will never change. The things would always keep growing. So a house which was huge 2 years back suddenly becomes small. It's because we have just accumulated things.
Coming to you, you are an energy healer, and I think it makes a huge difference when we declutter in terms of energy. We really let that energy flow and welcome positivity and happiness into our lives.
Some things become an attachment to people. So for them to declutter, as you were saying, that it helps them to just clear off emotions, clear off attachments that in their life. And that's like clearing your baggage. And people, I think, don't realise how they become accustomed to attaching themselves to things. And especially if people have given you things.
Exactly.
That energy's also coming in. So it's interesting for people, when some clients have come to us, and I don't mean this with everybody, but some clients have come to us and I asked them, something's gone turbulent in their life, or all of a sudden they've been feeling a little bit down or not right. And I sometimes receive the message, somebody has given you something. So that energy has created a gateway into their house, and they're feeling that emotion from someone else. So sometimes, it's not everybody, but sometimes you just have to be aware of what's coming in, what you need to clear, constantly renewing your home, yourself, the energy around you, really, in order for you to be able to grow.
Yeah. That's a very good point. So Padma, as Terry said, everything that we have in our house has an energy, and they're all interconnected.
Absolutely.
So in terms of Vaastu, how do we even start to clean our surroundings?
Yes. In terms of Vaastu and decluttering, one of the most important thing that one needs to remember is, if you do not need it, if you do not use it, and if you do not love it, don't have it in your house. All the three conditions have to be fulfilled. A lot of times you see there are some holiday memories that we bring along, and in one corner it's just lying there.
The house slowly turns into a museum.
Yes, and a lot of times, this is one of the most common thing which I see in most of the houses. We buy candles and we just keep them, we light them on a special occasion, but that special occasion never comes in. I always tell people, if you buy it, light it. Give value to the money, give value to your space.
Correct.
Even that candle is nothing but clutter. If you're not using it, and if you're not getting the happiness out of using it, it is clutter.
Yeah.
So need it, use it, and love it, and make sure when you're using it, it is nourishing your soul. That is very important.
Very important. I have a very simple rule for myself. If I have not used something for 6 months,
Perfect.
my
deadline.
Throw it.
Yes.
That's my deadline.
Yes, I
and
know
I'm
that.
constantly clearing my space. And
Yes.
Minimalistic, lesser you have, better you feel.
Absolutely. The simple policy I tell people is, if you're buying one, let's say a dress, make sure you discard one dress, because the space, as I said, will not grow. So you are creating space for a new thing rather than just trying to fill in your space.
So Terry, we hoard a lot of things, and I know everything, as we are talking about, has an energy.
Yeah.
Do they also influence our relationships with ourselves and people around us?
Definitely. I think that it depends who's decorating the house. Like some houses I've gone into and it's quite male, and then I ask them who decorated, and she'll say, my husband did, or my boyfriend, and then I'm asking her, so where do you fit in here? So there would be that aspect. Then I've gone into people's houses and I said the energy of the products that you've bought don't necessarily match your energy. And then she would tell me, oh, well, half this furniture came from the first marriage. Okay, so that would to me is move that out and move your furniture and your design as a couple together. Or it can be the house can be completely feminine, you just don't think a man lives there. So then there's an imbalancement going on within in the marriage. So it does need to be complementary, that both people like it, they really enjoy their surroundings, and it just reflects them. It's because every house you go into reflects the emotions of that family.
So true, and the energy.
Yeah, 100%. As soon as you walk in, you can pick it up in anybody's house. Yeah.
Padma, Terry was talking about balancing. How do we create this balance through decluttering?
To create that balance within your space, it is very important to allow the space to evolve, to allow the energies to flow within that space. Something as simple as just starting with your wardrobe. If you open your wardrobe, you would find clothes that, probably once I lose my weight, I'll wear these clothes. Or, I'll just save this dress for a nice occasion. And you realize it's been 2-3 years and it's just lying there in one corner. Start with your wardrobe. Start with your papers. Start with small things. You don't have to really go overboard by literally draining yourself out, because as you declutter gradually, you would realize that you're picking up positive energies, and that is allowing you to get into a bigger mode of decluttering. So just start slow, start very slow. Yes, your makeups, your old phones which are just lying there in the drawers, which probably you're never going to use it.
Absolutely.
Just take slowly, small step, one at a time, and you would realize as you're taking 2-3 steps, you've got that energy to take bigger steps.
So Terry, how do we start decluttering our mind?
Well, I always say to my clients before coming for a clearing, I need you to do a small preparation from your side, which means you need to look at your emotions. So, do a list of your forgivenesses and your angers or your hurts. Just really start making, and then I do a list of forgivenesses. So do a list of all your emotions and see where you're at and see what you'd really like to let go of. This helps you to declutter your heart. We pick up different energies in our chakras, in our aura, from emotions every day. And it's very important for people to know how to really tune into themselves and tune into their chakras and tune into their emotions and tune into what's going on around them, to be able to know what is their emotions and what somebody else's. You get confused unless you cleanse back to yourself fully. Then you can pinpoint what you need to work on and not get confused, caught up with everybody else, because we can. We can pick up things from just reading the newspaper, from seeing sadness on the telly, carry that all day, but that may not be our sadness. Or just being with a friend after you've left them. You know,
That's so true.
they're not happy, God bless them, but you may go home with that emotion and then bring that into your life when actually it wasn't yours.
True.
So by you decluttering yourself emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally, helps you to get back to you.
And all these things that you've said, I have experienced it myself, and I see the change every single time. Either I've, kind of cleansed my emotions or forgiven people, or just, shed that anger towards people, or, some incident or whatever has happened. You just come out of it lighter.
100%, because if you're not forgiving that other person, you're still attached to that other person, and you're using up energy on that anger or forgivenesses every day. So then you're wondering why you're tired. It's a lesson. Leave it, heal it, say thank you for your lesson, and just move it on.
Let go and let's go.
Let go.
5 things we can do to declutter our space around us.
First and foremost, your personal space, your wardrobe.
Okay, start
your
with that.
cars, your handbags, your mobile phones. And we all have that little corner in our house where we keep storing gifts that we have received from somebody, and we probably do not have the intentions of using, but we want to give it away. And it keeps on stacking, but we hardly clear that little corner. So start with that. Give it in charity if you really don't have that immediate thought of giving it to somebody. Just clear. Respect your space. It's your space, so do not think about others. Clear it.
Clear it.
Yes.
Very important. I use a very simple philosophy, and I read this in a book by a Japanese author, where she talks about when you're cleaning your wardrobe, just take each and every piece, spend a minute or 2 with it.
Absolutely.
If you feel love for the piece, keep it.
Yes.
If you don't feel any emotion, let it go, however expensive it is,
Yes.
however good it is. 5 things we can do to declutter our mind, body, and soul.
I think first of all is to do a list of your emotions. I always find that I tend to do that twice a year myself. So I do a list of forgiveness for others and myself, a list of anger that we hold, probably a list of judgments I want to let go of.
Right.
But then I do a list of gratitude. I do my gratitude every day.
Yeah.
Of what I am grateful, because and I keep that list, and to do a nice cleansing salt bath. Do like a salt bath that cleanses off the aura, and
Totally.
or swim in the sea, and and then if you feel that you need to go get healings or clearings from, help from other people, which does help, then go do that as well. Do go and cleanse and service your body with a healing method, with a healing way. I think they're the pointers that I would give to people to start off with, because it's simple, but it's effective. But I think everything that's simple is more effective.
Absolutely.
Quite frankly.
Yeah. There is a
You
lot
know.
of power in simplicity.
100%.
As I said, we really need to do it on a constant basis, declutter our space and declutter our mind, body, and soul. And every day, I believe when we wake up breathing, it's a blessing.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming on this show.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
You
Thank
are
you.
amazing, and I really had fun chatting with you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thanks.
so much.
Thank you.